My ass is sweating.
That's the intro.
Welcome back to Dumb and Broke. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Brian. And if you are listening, you won't see her. But if you are watching on YouTube, you will see that we have a guest, none other than Tegan.
Chelsea's friend Tegan.
Wait, what?
She doesn't remember. Do you not watch Dumb and Broke podcast?
Damn.
Oh, it is my friend Tegan.
Yeah. One time you said that. You're like, my friend Tegan. I was like, I'm sorry? Who?
I mean, she was my friend first.
Okay.
It's true.
It is true.
But she is the third of the Scooter Girls.
She is.
The Scooter Girls, yes.
We are the Scooter Girls because we all own scooters, but we've never officially rode scooters together.
Which is exactly why we all got scooters. Well, I can't really say that. I got a scooter for my commute. But then you guys were like, yeah, I'm going to get a scooter. We'll all ride together.
So excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the scooter. I pretty much only use it to go to the gym.
Same.
But
I feel like we should clarify because there is some confusion when I say this. We're not talking a moped here.
Oh, no.
I want you to think.
and we're not talking razor scooters either.
Basically like a motorized razor scooter is what we're riding around on.
Goes like 15 miles per hour.
Yeah. And is the best.
But anyways, we're really excited to have Tegan because you've heard her name probably every single episode of this podcast. And you listen to the podcast, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. As soon as it comes out, I'm like waiting. I'm like, refresh Spotify. Just chilling, waiting, doing my work. And I'm like, okay, let's go.
She also will chime in our text group. She'll chime in our text group. Well, on the podcast this week, it was yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, I know that you listen.
And the best part is, like, a lot of times I already know some of the stories you guys tell, but then just, like, rehearing it, I still, like, laugh out loud at it. So it's just, like, a different vibe. It's just, like, so funny rehearing it. Especially stories that I'm actually in.
You should play a drinking game at home, like, every time your name is said. Like,
at 8 a.m. at work.
Yeah.
Shot of espressos every time.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But, like, it was a long time coming for you to be on here. We figured out how to have guests, so like you were the perfect first guest. So
I mean, I would have been offended if I wasn't, to be honest.
Yeah, like no one could have been our first guest. So
right.
Hi, Tegan.
Hi.
This is weird.
I know.
This is so weird. Like,
especially sitting at a table. Like, I mean, this is essentially us talking like we would anyway, but we're like seated at this table.
Formal
yeah,
to have this conversation.
I know. I'm like, are we interviewing Tegan?
Yeah, right.
So Tegan, tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm an Aries, and
you are an Aries.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am Brian's neighbor and cat nanny. I guess that would be my official title. I feel like I'm Chelsea's friend, but I'm your neighbor and cat nanny.
She does take care of Noah a lot, and it's been a lot lately.
I'm really glad you've taken over.
Yeah. In fact, can you watch him on Sunday, actually? I've been meaning to ask you, but since we're here, I figured
You
just have to feed. Okay, we can talk about it later. And then Chelsea, you have him next week when I'm in Cabo.
Sure. Yeah.
Noah's like, I fucking hate that.
Fuck both these bitches.
Yeah. As long
Well,
as
I feel like I'm interviewing and I hate this, but I think like a common theme of this podcast is always around like dating, and we've always talked about our dating horrors, but honestly, like Tegan has the worst.
Okay, why did I first thought you were a second we're going to say the best, and now
I was about to think you said she thrives.
My mind's blown a little bit.
Tegan thrives in the dating world.
You're right. I guess I mean worse as in good.
I think it depends how you look at it,
Yes.
I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
But you definitely have the most experience. Sorry, I don't mean like that either.
This is going well. All of your experiences outside of men who start with the name of Jay and live in the Bronx have been great.
I don't know. There are many outside of that category, but sure, yeah.
Tegan's gonna be like, do not air this episode. But you do have a type, and it's a problem.
You know, and the funny thing is, it didn't happen until I moved to New York, right? Like, so I moved to DC. I lived in Wisconsin my whole life, obviously, and then I moved to DC. Met my ex-boyfriend on Bumble. That was like the thing. This was like 2017. So I moved to DC June 7th, and I met him June 17th, and then we were together for almost 5 years. So I feel like I never like truly like dated before. Like I was on the apps, but like I didn't really go on dates necessarily. So like then when we broke up, like I'd moved here. So that was my first time like really like, okay, getting back out there. And obviously like I wasn't necessarily looking for anything serious, but I also like, I don't know, it was like New York and I was like, oh my God, there's like such a whole pool of people that it was just, I don't know.
I feel like that's like
such a pool of people. I'm going to limit myself to one.
Literally, I'm pretty sure you use all the preferences on Hinge and you put name starts with letter J, lives in the Bronx, this specific ethnicity.
The funny thing is though, I don't even know how I ended up in that pool. Like, right, okay, so the first guy that I guess referencing, I met him and it wasn't even going to be like a thing. Like, I don't know, we were talking and like we'd been talking for like a month and the same thing, he lived in the Bronx but he hood fished me, you know, so that is like essentially where somebody says.
What did she say?
Hood fished.
Hood fished.
Is that like when they say they're in a different borough?
Right. So Hinge, you you can put like so ours say Greenpoint, right? Like it doesn't just say Brooklyn. So you can like your whatever. His said Midtown. I was like, okay, whatever,
Hood
easy.
fished.
Turns out he lived in Riverdale. If you're not familiar, Riverdale is in the Bronx. It is the second to last stop on the one line. Oh. So I mean,
up. That's a long
all the way up
distance
there.
relationship.
It was an hour and 20 minutes on the train. So I mean, yeah, like I joke about this with my friend Kayla, who's from Milwaukee, and she's like, "Oh my God, yeah, the guy running out." I'm like, just like make to Chicago. It's the same commute. You can take the train to Chicago. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. So like to think about that in context of like New York City, how you could be in the same city, but like essentially you are in a long distance relationship. So he was the first one, and I don't really know how I got there. We just matched, and then after that, yes, that's when it went downhill. And the Jays,
they kept coming.
They literally, yes,
they kept coming, and none of them stepped up.
No.
To be fair, the first one, so I guess essentially it was a situationship. I guess at the end of the day, I mean, we hung out and whatever, and I went to his house. I spent Thanksgiving with him, weirdly, and his family. I mean, but it was like a more casual, like it's not like a sit down, like they're Dominican. It was like, you know, whatever.
I wasn't expecting you to get this specific. I was like, oh my God. Do you think they'll listen?
No.
No, we're not even friends on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, who cares if he does?
Who cares?
This is for you.
But yeah, I mean, at the same time though, like I knew like he was going to move back to Seattle at some point. He was in school there. And so like even a part of me, like I didn't expect that to be like anything of it, but like it ended very abruptly. Mm-hmm. Like essentially it was like, hey, we're going to hang out this day. And then the next day I didn't really hear from him. And I sent him another text message and I followed up again. And it wasn't weird to me at that time because we had text a lot and like I could double text. But
it was like so comfortable for you that me and Brian referred to him as your boyfriend. Jokingly.
Right.
You were like, yeah, we haven't had that conversation. But me and Brian were like, this is your boyfriend.
Which one are we talking about?
The first.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, because they're all kind of sound alike. A lot of these stories sound similar, so I wasn't sure.
Okay, there's not that many.
True.
I think part of the problem is what you're referencing now is the fact that I apparently am a semi-annual situationship girl because I recently just experienced almost the same situation. Not quite exactly, but so
you were guarded for the second one.
Yeah. And I was definitely more open to like, okay, actually like, okay, I could do a relationship. Like I'm at that point where like,
and you were clear.
Yeah. And I've been single like almost 2.5 years. So like, you know, like ready to like actually, I guess, have something again. But same thing. So me and this guy from last year and this guy met on Hinge in August, hung out, made it to January, and then
to me, that's the most wild part about the whole thing is that you've been in these two situationships that I guess I've never been in a situationship. Have you?
I mean, I feel like I've been in a situationship, but they didn't give me near the same attention that you were getting. You're getting boyfriend attention,
right?
What
I'm trying to say is like I think it's wild. Like, how can you like talk to not you the guy? How can they like talk to someone and hang out with someone for 6+ months and not know what you want? Or I don't know. It's just like that to me. That's wild. Like then again, me and my boyfriend made it official after 1 month, so yeah. I don't know any better.
I mean, I have to say because again, me and my ex-boyfriend, we made it official. After a month, you know, and this. Scary thing I think is that the situationship has become the commonplace. That's like and so part of this whole conversation, I think I got in, not like an argument, but somebody got mad at me when we were at the bar one time because I tried to explain what people think exclusive is different than being boyfriend and girlfriend. Right. So now there's an extra level of that where I think in most people's minds, if you're exclusive, you're a boyfriend, girlfriend.
Which we talked about that.
Right.
I feel that way.
I agree. But now the whole new level is you're exclusive. So as in you're probably only like sleeping with each other. You're not like getting to know anybody else, but you're not quite saying you're each other's boyfriend and girlfriend, which I'm like,
my question would be, what's the added benefit to what's the difference in levels between exclusivity and boyfriend girlfriend?
My thought is that it's easier to back out, right? Like if you were exclusive with somebody, were they considered your ex then? Or is that only if you're getting boyfriend, girlfriend? Like, I guess both of these situationships, I would not consider them. I would never say they were my exes because.
Right.
I guess there is a difference.
So exclusivity, though, I feel like that is somebody who wants to fuck around, but doesn't have the effort or the willingness to do it with multiple people. Right. They're like, oh, I found one person. We can be exclusive and we're not sleeping with other people. So you're getting boyfriend, girlfriend qualities, but you don't have the commitment.
Right.
And I feel like that would be a red flag if a guy brought that up. We're exclusive, but we're not boyfriend, girlfriend. I'd be like, pump the brakes.
Yeah, I don't.
Stop it right there.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. A guy did ask me on Hinge the other day, what is a situationship? And I explained it to him. He's like, oh, that's basically boyfriend, girlfriend. I was like, yeah, that's the point. That's why it's a situationship, is because the idea is you're getting, boyfriend, girlfriend benefits, but you can be doing.
Is one of your Hinge prompts about a situationship?
No, it's not. He literally just asked me it. And I was like, why? What? Where?
Interesting.
Like, do you know my life? Yeah.
I thought maybe you had like something, a prompt that was like, I'm not into another situationship.
You should.
Maybe I should. Honestly, though, I don't know. I don't think I track them, but I mean, I think now I'm more. But that's the thing in this last one. I think I was more clear. I mean, I'm not great at those conversations, so I did blurt it out to him on the train. But he was like so receptive and understanding. So I was like, okay, whatever,
I respect that. I feel like if you want to ask a question, like you should feel comfortable just to ask a question, like, what are we?
Yeah.
Especially at that point when you're already been communicating and hanging out for a long time. I'm all for it.
Agreed.
That's why I did it. Wait, we kind of like talked about like the stuff that's happened recently. Should we kind of like rewind it and like explain how this
we all
came to be?
Yeah.
Because we are like, I think like people know us as a trio, like people in our neighborhood, like all of our friends, like we are a trio. Right. People tell us that like they love our friendship.
If we get invited anywhere, they're like, tell Brandon to
right.
Yeah.
There are some haters out there too. You know who you are that are jealous of this.
You gotta have them.
Yeah,
we're doing it right. That means.
And like we've kind of only known each other for a couple of years, right? Like.
Yeah, I mean, me and Chelsea moved here at the same time. So that's, I guess, how we kind of met that is how we met. We met on Facebook, I guess, essentially.
Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. Shout out Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, just looking for a room, moving here. I think we were all kind of like ready. We're like, we need a room.
In the absolute chaos of women that is those groups.
Oh my God.
I think we're all just like done. We're like, I don't even care who you are. I'll commit right now.
Yeah. We're all roughly the same age. This was 2021, October 2021.
Yeah, thank you for saying that.
Yeah. So still COVID-y times. So, but yeah, so we ended up, we never met. We didn't even FaceTime. We nothing. We just signed the lease essentially.
Right.
In Greenpoint, that was, we've lived here since we moved here.
Yeah. And then I'm sure we've said this story before, but we met through a mutual friend. And like, I feel like you and I kind of hit it off instantly.
Right.
I remember like inviting you out for a night.
You invited me to dinner and I was so nervous. But when we were walking to dinner, I think we were going to get a drink or something first. But as we were walking to dinner, I was like, oh, wait, my roommate is in here doing karaoke. And so you actually met her on the first day that we hung out. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Because my sister and my best friend Kayla was in town.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we went to Goldie's.
We popped in,
room,
sang a song.
Yeah.
And then we went to dinner. And we got like really drunk that night, right?
We did.
That was really fun. And then I think we were going to a Taylor Swift
Yeah.
dance party night.
And I was like, wait, my roommate really loves Taylor Swift too.
No, so you text me, you're like, is it okay if I invite my roommate? And I was like, does she actually like Taylor Swift? I was like, kind of like, don't invite her if she doesn't like Taylor Swift. We don't need any Taylor Swift haters. She's like, yeah. You're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she does.
I was like, I think she likes Taylor Swift more than me.
Yeah.
But
And then we all go, and this bitch knew way more than me at the time, at least. Like,
Yeah, Swiftie for sure.
for
But-
sure. So, yeah.
and then it was love.
Yeah.
And then I moved out.
I followed you a month later though because
Chaos ensued.
Chaos. There was chaos.
And it's been love ever since.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Which is so ironic to think about how we are like such closer friends now than we were when we
Literally.
actually lived
Are
together.
you talking to just her or including me? Because
Yeah.
you were looking at her.
But you didn't-
Well, I
you
am
didn't live. Did you live
we
with
were
us?
close friends
Oh.
from the start,
yeah.
but like her and I, like we were friendly,
Right, yeah.
yeah. But it wasn't like we didn't,
like, we didn't
hang out
hang
a
out
ton.
really.
That's
Yeah.
true. You got closer
Yeah.
after you
Yeah.
moved.
Yeah.
And you left not shortly after she left, right? Like,
It was probably like a month
Yeah.
or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
After.
And then everything blossomed,
And then
and here we are.
here we are. And I was just, I brought this up to you guys the other day because I was talking to someone about like fighting with your friends. And I had to sit and think. And I was like, I've literally never gotten into a fight with Chelsea and Tegan. And I also like can't think of a reason why we would get into a fight.
Over times I've been so paranoid in the group chat if someone is like not as expressive as I think they should be, or like I get so paranoid. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? They're so mad at me. Oh my God. And I mean,
But I feel like we
never-
also there's like such a comfortability that we can be like if Brian just sends me an okay, sometimes I'm like, that could have been more enthusiastic. Are you mad?
You sent an O to me on us recently.
It was through my watch. It
I
was
said something. And
you had a dream that I was in love with you.
That's right. And
Oh,
she
yeah.
said, okay.
I said, okay.
Literally, okay.
But I like kind of knew it was like, I thought it was your watch. But at
Well,
first-
yeah, because you checked my location and you knew exactly where I was.
Yes, exactly. I love
So
checking
really, the key to this whole friendship is just like being super creepy and over communicative.
Yeah, and it's true. And you kind of have to be because you do have locations. You know so much about each other. Like, even if I wanted to lie, then you'd look up and be like, well, why are you there? What are you doing? How'd you get there?
Bitch, you are not at home.
Right, exactly.
Even today, like Tegan was here first, and then like we were waiting for you to arrive, and you didn't even text us and say on the way. But I opened up the Find My Friends app, and you were literally a block away. I was like,
You
Chelsea's-
know why I didn't?
why?
Because I'm like, he's going to check my location anyway.
Okay, fair.
I think you win that award. Like,
Well-
you are the location checker for sure.
I have people like I don't even know his location. Like I love it. It's like I literally
Where are all your Sims?
yeah. It's like when every morning you check your social media, like you check Instagram, you check whatever. I check Find My Friends too.
Brian's like, find my friends, Venmo, what's everybody been paying for?
Seriously, no joke. I check Venmo too. I love it. But I'm especially with you, because you're pretty much only at one of 3 places. 2 of the gyms are home. So whenever you're not at one of those places and like I didn't know about it, I'm like,
She's out without us.
like
That shows how rare I actually go out because you're like, what the hell? What the hell?
I remember one time she did, and like we texted her and she didn't answer, and it was like 2 hours. I think you were like at dinner with like some of your gym friends. We were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, she's sketchy.
Yeah, what the hell?
we,
Just cut us right out. Okay.
we thought you were on a date, but then we're like, why didn't she tell us? That's so weird.
So we were fighting with you. You just didn't know we were fighting.
we were so mad at you.
Oh, great. So we actually have had fights.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, is this a sub chat that I should know about?
This is actually why we brought you here today. you tell her first.
We need to talk about your indiscretions.
Listen, I won't go anywhere. I'll just stay home.
That's probably best.
You're like, oh no, I won't go anywhere. Oh,
No. I won't go out.
Well, you went out. You were just in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I did. Wow. We haven't even touched. I did go to Jamaica. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Sun was shining, birds were chirping. I got a nice little tan. I will say one thing that I loved, and I've already told you guys this, but I've been nervous a little bit recently. We joke about how much I love being home, and that's a true thing. But sometimes I get genuinely nervous that I'm like, do I like being alone a little too much? Is that? But by the last day when I was there, I'm like, I'm ready to go home. I've had too much up in my brain. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to be social. I'm done. So there is a cap. It's reassuring to know there is a cap on my alone time. But yeah, it was really great.
I think it's awesome that you did that. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't think I would.
I think beach wise, I think that's like a good place to go because you can chill and just relax. But I think like going to do like in a big city or something, I like to do it with somebody else just because you have something to like bounce off of.
Honestly, so I've had some people ask for Rex because they also want to do a solo trip. They're like, yeah, I would love to do that. But the thing is, I don't think I would do that trip again. And maybe it was partly my own paranoia because a few days before, a friend sent me a link that there's now a travel advisory in Jamaica for sexual assault and murder. An uptick, and it said it even included all-inclusive resort. So I think I was just like super aware.
On edge too.
A little on edge. And I had just never done something like that by myself. So that played a part. But also I think there was like one single guy on that beach, and I don't even know if he was single. I think he was there with his parents. He had a mullet, and I stalked him for a day, and I was like, listen, this is not going to work out. I think I saw him rip a line of cocaine and then hold his 80-year-old grandma's hand and walk her down to the beach, and I was like, he's not the one. He's not the one.
That's precious.
Yeah.
But also if you start considering a guy with a mullet, I think you kind of reflect a little bit on
Right. Mullets can be cute. They're coming back.
Definitely not your I was like, definitely not your type. I could kind of see Chelsea with the guy with the mullet.
That's actually not wrong. But aside from that, I feel like everyone was like in a couple or in a group and were absolutely ripping. Like just getting wasted on getting their bottom dollar with those all-inclusive drinks, which I totally get and would probably be doing if I was with a group, but that just wasn't where I was or what I was going for. And I felt like there were just like one too many, at least 5 men that I can think of off the top of my head, that their first question or some compliment, some compliment. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then it was always followed with, where's your boyfriend? Which is like, so I brought this up to another guy and he was like, well, they got to ask. And I'm like, do they? I feel like there's other ways to flirt and get to the bottom of that than to be like, where's your boyfriend? Because to me, and maybe again, it could have been the headspace that I was in, that felt like a threat. Like if I told you that I was there by myself, then what?
Yeah.
So my boyfriend took a lot of naps.
I do feel like that is like an opening for guys for some reason. Like, so I didn't even tell you guys this. So I've been wanting to like brush up on my Spanish, right? Like get better, like ideally, like even at work, because like using a translator is just like a lot, whatever.
Tegan's a nurse, by the way.
Thank you.
Planned Parenthood.
Yes. Thanks. So I was going to take the Spanish class through our union sponsors like classes you can take for different things. And it put me in like beginning Spanish. I was like, okay, fine. You know what I mean? I'm not going to like, I get there, like it's over Zoom. This was Monday night and it was supposed to be Mondays, Wednesdays, 6 to 8:30. So like pretty long classes. The first thing they were talking about is how to say, hello, my name is. And I'm like, I think this is not for me because
you can have conversations.
More advanced. Yeah. And I was like, there's no way I can do this for 5 hours every week because it won't. So then I was just kind of like looking, and I do Duolingo sometimes, but I was like, so there's like language exchange apps. So like it's basically people all around the world. It's like every different kind of language basically you want to learn. You can put what you're native and fluent in, and then what like languages you want to learn.
Interesting.
So I put Spanish. So it turns out it seems to be almost a dating app, essentially. And I think
everybody's trying to get that green card.
I think I'm going to have a 90-day fiance. Yes, that is what I've now decided because no women have asked to converse with me. Like this, again, this is supposed to be like an app of like you talk and learn. I'm not saying they aren't, but literally I signed up for it. It's like men, like literally blown up. And one of the guys did. He's like, oh, you're so pretty. Like, your
hair, blue eyes.
Your husband is so lucky. Where was he from?
Dominican Republic. Like it was, yes. I had it in my head, but I couldn't say it.
If you haven't caught on to the type.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, I want to learn Spanish too. And like we should learn together.
I mean, I'll jump in.
Just like, I don't want to be
Spanish.
left out. I'll learn
Yeah.
Spanish just to be your friends.
Yeah, but also you can meet a man and bring him. Yeah. So if anything, I'm going to be on 90 Day Fiance. That's my new
I would
goal in life.
watch
The
religiously.
I would love that. Oh my God.
She is the first that gets on reality TV and is on 90 Day Fiance. I
you-
would. Oh my gosh!
Could
We
you
would have watch parties?
Could you imagine me bringing a man to that apartment though to live?
Oh God.
I mean, I would just. Obviously, it's New York City. I live in a shoebox apartment, obviously. And me and Frankie, my very small dachshund, barely fit in that apartment. I could not imagine living in that place with another human being.
Yeah, that'd be tough. That mine's like
Would add an entertaining element to the TV show.
Very true. Very
and depending
true.
where they're from, like I'm sure they'd be very grateful. Oh my God. Okay. Not to change the subject, but I don't know if you know this, but I have a surprise for Tegan.
Oh, hell no. No.
Did you know she's like deathly afraid of wooden spoons?
They're
Like, she-
so disgusting.
I brought this up earlier and she literally like freaked out. Like she won't touch it.
No, like literally just no. Like,
What happened to you in
no,
a past
like-
life?
My mom used to, so my sister also has this like
Tegan
know.
got beat with a wooden spoon.
No, I don't know. So I don't know if it's like I think my mom she did like would chase after us with like wooden spoons to like spank us, which nowadays parents would never. But it's not even just that. It's just the texture of a wooden spoon is like nauseating to me.
Look how serious
Like,
she is.
She's dead ass serious.
My sister has the same thing. So it's almost like like nails on a chalkboard. Like it's that, but like in my like bones. Like I feel it, and it's just like
Whoa.
I can't.
Have you ever heard of this before?
No.
Right?
It's
This
called
like sounds like one of those Dr. Phil episodes.
Yeah.
where
Like they're afraid of like cotton balls.
right, broccoli or
Yeah.
something.
It's called xylophobia. Okay, it's a real thing. So thank you very much.
That's specific to wood.
Mhm, mhm.
Wooden spoons or wood.
Well, it's not wood. Yeah.
just wood in general.
Mine is like unfinished wood. Like so it's like I don't know. Like if this was wood, it wouldn't bother me
Right,
because
you're
it had
not
like
afraid
a
of my
surface.
desk?
No, because it is like covered.
Okay.
Unfinished wood, like if you would go to like Home Depot and buy like a wooden plank. Well, no.
Whoa.
That is wild. That is weird, but we love you for that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'm glad we unpacked that all together.
Mhm.
Speaking of getting spanked, did you get spanked as a kid?
A little bit. I would get like soap in the mouth if I
Oh.
Oh.
if I said a cuss word or like talked back to my dad. He would like
Never.
put soap in our mouth,
Never got that.
which is crazy because like of course I wasn't like here's my mouth like so he had to like grab my mouth and like swish soap in my mouth.
To me, I think that's worse than getting spanked. Like, I mean, it's not like my mom ever spanked us so hard. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, like the wooden spoon, whatever. But like, to me, soap in the mouth?
Yeah.
That's,
Well, I got whoops.
you're from Texas.
I feel like we talked about this.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also got spanked at school. I think that's
Oh,
what
right.
we talked about.
Which is-
That's more wild to me. 'Cause
Yeah.
The school.
Shout out to the South.
Texas. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
licks.
Yeah.
The cat licks.
That did
I
not
guess,
we
too.
did not have that in Florida. we went to school like years after you.
Well, as Tegan said before, with basically the same age. So, anyway, what else were we talking about? 90 Day Fiance, or anything?
She's like, I do not want to talk about how I just turned 34 years old.
Well, we were talking about The Bachelor earlier on this season. It's just like Joey, he's like the new Bachelor. And the drama these past few episodes is that the girl, so Joey's, I think, 28.
Yeah,
The oldest girl is 31 years old, right? Not
Oh.
old.
and that's
So
the
old.
drama.
And that's the drama that's currently unfolding is the fact that this girl feels so insecure because she's so much older and that she's going to be looked at like because Joey's 20 and she's 31. And then like these other girls, like it turns into this whole thing. And I'm like, this is insane that we're having a conversation at a 31-year-old feels like she's old. Like, to be fair, like my like hinge rage, like 28 is my lowest. Like, but I also think that's just like a boy maturity thing also. But like,
I don't know though, because my lowest is 30, and I question whether that's too low.
But wasn't it 28 like last year? I feel like you said that on the podcast.
Yes. Yes, which was I have changed that because that is for sure too low.
Yeah. You think 30 is too low now?
I kind of, but I think that's also just based on
Your age.
some 30-year-old.
No, but in all seriousness,
yeah,
I think if I was 34, I don't know if I would want to date a 30-year-old.
I'm almost like I would almost rather have like a 40-year-old man.
Yeah, especially if you're like you're on the app.
Been through some shit.
You're
and
on
has learned from
You're
it.
on the app and you get to pick, right? So
Yeah.
like in that sense, I probably wouldn't go for a 30-year-old. Now, if you meet a 30-year-old out in the wild and you like him, I feel like it's different. But
Right.
if you're selecting your preferences, I get it.
Yeah.
I just think it's just like age almost doesn't matter for guys nowadays either. You know what I
To
mean?
an extent, there are some very, very mature. There are actual like 30-year-old men out there, not like man child, but there's also 40-year-old men that act like they're 22.
Right.
So you really never know. You really never know.
All right, let's dive into controversial opinions. I'm really excited to have a third person to,
A third opinion to really weigh in.
Although I feel like a lot of times you and I are like on opposite sides, which is nice. But
so now we're gonna get
the
someone's gonna win.
tiebreaker.
Exactly.
So now someone's gonna win.
So we assigned you homework, and you were supposed to come prepared with a controversial opinion.
Yes. And I was trying to think about it because I was like, man, I've done already a lot of controversial opinions. But I feel like you just have a good mix of things. It's not like, there's all those controversial opinions out there that are like, okay, everyone, they're not even controversial anymore because like whatever. But I was just thinking about this because I like knew we talked about dating a little bit and like things like that. And I was like reflecting on my like long relationship that, ended. And I think that if somebody loses your trust or like you lose somebody's trust, you're never going to gain it back. And I think of that in more so like definitely like relationships, I think, because there's just such a lot of, I guess any relationship though, depending how deep it is, I think that's kind of the point is that because with him, for me, like I tried to gain, like I said, I'm going to try to trust you again. But I think it happened so many times and then he became resentful and didn't trust me. So like, I don't know if I was ever truly like going to trust him again. Like I said, I would try, but like, I don't know if I ever really was going to be able to.
Yeah, I think there's levels to it. I feel like with that specific example, I totally agree. I mean, you didn't say exactly why you guys didn't.
He was cheating on me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to be the one to say that.
No, and it was like a year-long thing. Like I found out. Yeah.
And how long did you stay once you found out?
So I thought it was done, and then we kind of like talked it out, whatever. And I was trying to like understand his point of view, which is fucking ridiculous at that point. But I was like, I did love him, and I was like, this was my life, and I was like, I couldn't imagine leaving. At that time, I was like, it was obviously clear that we probably should have been together because I felt like I was depending on him for not a lot of things, but when you're so close, especially like through COVID, we had gone through a lot, and
and when you live with someone, that's like a whole added layer of things.
Yeah, we had we had 2 dogs together. Like it was a whole life, right? So I was like, okay, let me try to like work it out. I was like, we have to do like therapy, like if at the very least, you know what I mean? And we did it for a little while. And like, I feel like the therapist was even on my side. So I was like almost getting the vibe. I was like, damn, okay.
I think you're right though. Like once you lose someone's trust, like it's almost impossible to gain it back. Cause I was trying to like think of it in a like maybe a smaller scale thing. Like maybe someone like tells you a little white lie and like you forgive them. But that doesn't mean you lost trust in that, right? So, like that trust is like such a huge word. So I think I wholeheartedly agree with you because, I was in a similar situation where I was in a long-term relationship. There was no like cheating involved that I'm aware of. But, I felt betrayed. And in that sense, I lost trust. So, that person has tried to like come back into my life in recent years. And I just couldn't do it because I don't trust them. So...
Right.
And same thing with like some of my platonic relationships as well. It's just like, I can't do it. Sometimes you even like, you try and you force it, but like once you lose trust, for me, it's very
I can talk even on a smaller scale. I feel like trust is so massive. At least, even to me personally, to the point where if we're in a group of people, and we've kind of talked about this before, if we're in a group of people and somebody is talking shit about someone. Listen, I love a good tea or a good like shit talking session. But if they're talking shit about someone, one for like something that they can't control, or just like mean girl behavior, or mean boy, whatever. I immediately, you will never make it to my inner circle. Not ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't get it back.
Yeah.
I agree. You can't get it back.
I just feel like some people are so hard. I mean, and I like, of course, I think we all want to see the good in people, right? Or like the redemption story obviously is always so great, but like, I don't know. I just, and I, sure, I think if somebody cheats one time, it was truly like a one-off thing. Okay, maybe you get that back, but I don't know.
Well, and I think we kind of talked about this before, talked about cheating in terms of like, I think time has to pass. Like, I think you have to break up. You have to break up. Some time has to pass. And then there's like you got to learn something from this, and you're not going to learn it while I'm with you.
Right. Because then it's like
there's no consequence.
And it sucks to think of it that way because you don't want to punish you never want to think that you want to punish somebody, but like at the end of the day, it kind of is that. It's like, okay, well, you did this and maybe you did it more than once and I just come back. What did you lose?
But I think from now forward, if that were to happen to you, you'd be like, I owe myself enough to not deal with this.
Never again.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching Vanderpump Rules?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you caught up?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, obviously, Tom and Ariana went through that whole thing, and now Ariana is like, in a way, punishing him. Like, you're not allowed to have a party.
Yeah.
And like, you see Lala kind of like, in a way, defending Tom.
Yeah.
And I get Ariana because it's like, it's not like she did anything to Tom. Like she
right.
But she's
lost the
about to do
trust
something
into
to
Tom.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, once you get to that point, then like, I don't know, in a way, all bets are off. Like, you betrayed me. You don't get like rational behavior from me anymore. Like you actually lost those privileges. Yeah. I just wanted to bring up Vanderpump Rules.
Use that moving forward. You've actually lost the privilege of me being rational.
Yeah.
From this point forward.
I think so. Like,
because
that's such a line that I'm going to use. That's a bar. That's a bar I'm taking.
Well, especially when it's always like, oh, my crazy ex. I'm like, no, you are the reason. Like, you know what I mean?
Can we talk about that? That's a red flag. I feel like that's an immediate red flag for sure. Like, my crazy. I don't care if they were fucking insane. Like, if a guy tells me, "Oh, my ex was crazy," that is like a nope.
Yeah,
probably not.
Yeah,
she probably wasn't. You probably
gave her reasons. Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, you were with them, and also how long were you with them?
You lost the privilege to her rational behavior.
Yes,
exactly. Should we move on?
Yeah.
You had one, right? Did you want to?
I did have one, and this just goes kind of with one that we talked about last week, where it was about Disney adults, but kind of in the same jest. Why are we hating on people that clap when the plane lands? Like, it happened when I came back from Jamaica, and I think immediately I was like, ugh. But I think that's the stigma around it. Like, people on dating apps are all like, as long as you don't clap when the plane lands. But I'm sitting next to this 80-year-old man that's just clapping away. Happy to be in New York. And I'm just like, why are we hating on somebody's joy that's literally doing nothing to us? Why is this such a big thing? And why I don't think things should be cringe that make people so happy. Like, things should be cringe when it feels out of character for someone or people are trying to be something that they're not. But when something makes you genuinely happy, I let people live.
I hate this phrase, but it's like, don't yuck somebody's yum. And that's essentially what it is. Like, that sounds cringy.
That's going to be the name of this episode.
But I mean, yeah, especially that, like, what is somebody clapping doing to you? Like, is that really, chances are you have your AirPods in, one. Like, you're not like paying attention. So what, I don't know.
And honestly, I bet the pilots love it. Because sometimes when I finish teaching a class, people will clap, and that sends me over the moon. And they don't have to do that.
I'm going to do it now.
They don't have to do that. But yeah, I bet the pilots are like, Did my job.
Did it again.
Did it again. Landed successfully.
Taylor Swift once said, the worst kind of people are the people that make you feel bad or stupid for enjoying the things that you enjoy. And I agree with her.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Like we said last week, like, stop hating.
Preach.
I mean, I'm with you. Like, when it happens, I do cringe a little bit, but like not enough to like speak about it, like ever.
Right.
You
But
know?
it did make me question. I'm like, why am I cringing at this?
'Cause
But
that's
I think
the
it's
thing.
I think it's because people are like
Because
so
everyone else.
against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people talk about it a lot.
That is why I hate dating app prompts too, though, is because so many of the things guys post are just things that I feel like they think are just cool. Like
Yeah.
that. Like, or like, I don't know. Like, don't take yourself too seriously. I don't know. Just shit like that. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? You don't even know what that means. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know. That's just Hinge prompt specifically.
We need to do like
that.
a Hinge voice prompts with Tegan.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I actually found one that I really love. We'll talk about it.
We'll do it another time.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll have you back on.
Yeah.
But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We have more controversial opinions after the break. All right, next. Is it important that your partner can spell?
I don't know. Room?
I'm gonna say yes.
What a very specific
Yeah.
thing.
I would
But like
not
there
have
are
normally.
some smart people that just like can't spell, you know?
But like certain, like especially with spell check nowadays. Like, I mean, your phone pretty much spells for you, even if you don't know how to
Shut
spell.
up, Chelsea. You submitted this one.
Listen. Okay, there's a guy. He's probably not listening. If he does, this is how I'm
Hey.
addressing the situation. Okay, he said "damn" to me in a certain context at least 4 times, and he spells the word "damn" D-A-M-E. Concerning English, not a second language, from San Francisco.
I mean, my question is like an inside. You know what? You use a certain word so often, like with your friends or something, and your iPhone automatically corrects it. Like,
I'm not on your inside.
And my question is English is, well, you said he's from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Do they have an accent over there?
And actually, it
sometimes-
changes to dame.
Maybe. Sometimes I don't
Dame.
understand
Dame.
Tegan.
Maybe he speaks Spanish. Dame.
Tegan has a Wisconsin accent.
It's like certain words.
Yeah. And I know what you're saying.
Do you type in bag?
Bag.
B-E-G.
You know what? I do have that on my Hinge though, not bag. And we're the same type of weird if you say bubbler.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Which is a water
until you
fountain,
said
right?
it.
It's a water drinking fountain.
Yeah.
Most responses I get is like, oh, like the bubbler, like you smoke weed out of.
Next.
No.
Okay, so yes, I think it is important that, especially at your old age,
I was talking to my brother about it. I'm going to ignore that.
our old age.
I was talking to my brother about it, and he was like, there's no way that I would not address that head on. I guess that's my next question. How would you address it? He said there's no way the first time that happens that it wouldn't be like, are you trying to spell damn?
I feel like it would be like, it would kind of like be like, wait, what are you trying to say? But I feel like it is something you'd have to address early on because
But
the
now
more
that
he
I've, like,
says
let
it, then
it-
it's like when you're like, oh wait, by the way, what do you mean when you say damn? Damn? I don't know. Like
Dame.
there's just I don't.
Wait, does he speak Spanish?
I don't know.
What does dame mean?
Even
don't know.
still, dame is not equivalent to damn in
Yeah.
any way.
What does
It's like,
dame mean?
Give me.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. fun
Oh,
fact.
maybe he's just
Are we
been
starting our
really
lesson together?
flirting with you. Oh,
No.
he's been waiting for you.
Honestly, maybe I'm the boring person because it's always kind of been like a, damn, that's crazy.
Probably. All right. I want to move on because we need time to speak about this specific
Okay, great.
subject. So last week, one of our friends, I won't say her name, we'll keep her anonymous, because I don't know if she wants to be whatever. We talked about it. She submitted that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship is a farce. You and I both disagreed with that. So she listened, and after hearing our wisdom, she retracted that, and she said, my new controversial opinion is that they're both rebounding from their previous relationships, and that's what this relationship is about. So
Interesting.
what do you think, Tegan?
I wouldn't say it's a rebound. I mean, so we're getting a new Taylor album is what we're all just told, right? And it's 2 years barely in the making, and we all assume it's going to be a breakup album, right? Based on the track list, but timing, every blah blah like that.
Yeah.
So maybe 2 years is a pretty long time, and I feel like if anything, like the Maddie Healy situation would have been like the rebound, really. So I don't know. I mean, and they say like you have the rebound, and then the next guy you marry, like after like a serious relationship. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think they say it as a rebound.
Have I hit my rebound?
No. You don't have anyone.
I mean, what does that say for me?
So would I consider the next person my rebound, or
No.
or then the next person? Do I have 2 more people?
I wonder if is there a length of time a
Oh,
rebound
you're
has to be
saying
though?
because-
For me, what's with the
you had
gap?
a serious but what length of time does a rebound have to be? You know, like and what
And like,
counts it? Does a
are
situationship
rebounds
count? Like,
typically
what is-
exclusive? Like, I feel like this is so exclusive to be a rebound.
yeah.
Is a rebound like that bad of a thing? I feel like when we say it, it comes with a negative connotation, but like, is it that bad of a thing?
I mean, I'm sure there's
I feel
people
like it's like
who-
you're looking for comfortability in just anyone right after the fact. So
And we've
I think
talked
that
about-
is.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
And we've talked about like we do not understand how people jump from relationship to relationship.
Right.
I could understand it, not in terms of that you're ready to actually like get to know a person, but think about being like in a relationship, you're used to that closeness and that, you know, intensity. It's like, so like automatically you're getting out, it's probably so easy to get close to somebody again because it just feels normal. Like, especially if you're not just like like if you're like truly like hanging out, going on dates, hanging at each other's houses, it's easy to fall back into that like relationship pattern.
Yeah. So to that point, I think that too much time has passed for it to be considered a rebound.
I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
well, and for me, yes. I think a rebound is off the table. But for Taylor Swift, also, yes. For Taylor Swift, it can be a rebound because too much time has gone by.
Yeah. I mean, a rebound is a sport reference. I know it's like a basketball thing, right?
Okay.
Like it's like when you get the ball
You
back.
like get it off the rim, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like
So-
you get it.
Yeah. So if you are somebody's getting you off the relationship.
Who's getting me off?
I heard off the rim and I was like,
Rim getting off.
Wow.
Ooh, I like this.
Got a little after dark hours in here.
yeah, but I mean, as much as I want the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce thing to work out, who knows if it's like love forever, or maybe they're just having a great time. But they are out in the open. They're exclusive, meaning they are also boyfriend girlfriend.
What a concept.
Wow, crazy. But so yeah,
I wouldn't mind a divorce album.
Yeah, right. Like keep the content coming.
Skipping some steps.
I just also feel like they could end up being like the typical celebrity. Our schedules are just too busy, you know. I mean, she's on an international tour for another at least year.
Yeah.
He's footballing, you know. So
He's footballing.
He's footballing.
I mean,
Sports.
He can follow her around forever, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, not forever, but you know, I don't know.
Are they the same age?
Yep, they're both 1989.
Wow.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Damn.
But I also feel like she's so much smarter than him.
I don't know. But you know, maybe she's a power girl.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe she
he's
just wears the
successful
pants.
in his own thing, you know. But
Right.
she clearly has a whole,
Right.
just crazy else level.
So
of
I guess to
things
sum
there.
up, we're rooting for him.
Yeah. I hope it works out.
And then if it doesn't, hopefully we get an album.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the
I
very
don't-
least.
Like I said last week, I don't care that much, but I know you do, and you probably do too.
I do. I'm
A little bit?
invested.
I mean, I love that for them. I guess you
Yeah.
know. But
I think I'm invested because I want my own Travis Kelce. And
Fair.
if she can do it, I can do it.
you know I've been
Right?
having very vivid dreams that I've dated Travis Kelce, or like I was at Travis Kelce and Taylor's wedding. I don't know. It's just
I
very
love that for
strange.
you.
So I don't know if I'm just ingesting too much Taylor Travis content, or I'm trying to manifest. But
I think that I am, but it's also being shoved down our throats.
that's facts.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to end the pod there. So,
Yeah.
But
We should plug.
we should plug Tegan, who is a badass bitch and running
Boss ass bitch.
the New York City half marathon.
Yes, inspired by Chelsea, who crushed the full marathon.
But Tegan actually like runs.
I've run a couple half marathons, and I was like, this year I want to get back into the running. So yeah, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, little fun little party.
Little jaunt around the city.
Right, yeah.
And she's raising money for a great cause.
I am Planned Parenthood, which is where I'm a nurse, obviously. Don't really need to go into super details what they do because it's important. Obviously, everyone knows. And with healthcare being under attack, especially women's rights, any donation is great, super helpful.
I want you to think about every single woman that you love, and I want you to pay $1 for all of them. So think about it, write them down. We'll be judging your dollar amounts. But seriously, anything counts.
Yeah, we'll include the link in the bio. So
Yeah, I'm almost-ish halfway there, and would love to wrap it up. Just like you should. Every time. Free condoms at Planned Parenthood.
are we talking about the podcast?
And the podcast.
All right.
We're going to wrap up the podcast.
All right, guys.
Subscribe.
Like.
Comment.
It's like we planned that. All right. See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.